What's up, guys? This is another N8N video. This one's just going over the simple items. So if you're in N8N, you're using it a lot, you know about items. If you're new to N8N, this is just sort of how everything is passed down the workflow pipeline. So we have some very simple workflows set up here. I just have a click trigger, and this is going over to a edit set node, and this set node is just outputting one item. So we can take a look at what that looks like. I have it set just to the static thing. You can look at it over here under the JSON view and just see that this is like what's coming out. It's what we set. We have a key here, name, Sally Field, company, ABC Court, set up, coming out of here, perfect. So next thing we want to look at is what about like multiple items? So a lot of times in your workflows, there's going to be reasons you're going to be hitting APIs and stuff like that. You're going to get multiple items back that all kind of look the same, like little packets of information. So we're going to fire that here, and I'll just show you. This is the same thing, edit set node. What we have now is we've set a variable to be added to each of our items. So you'll see this guy here is just a random, he's just a code node, so don't worry about him right now, but he's just generating 10 random items for us. And what do these items look like? Well, you can click in here, you can look right over here, you can see this is each of the items. So one is below this comma, so one item, second item, third item, and it's all these top level deals inside of this little double bracket. So there's 10 of them, you can count them, and there's 10 being passed. Each of these items going through this little node is included. So each of these items goes in, it's included on the out, but then this piece right here is added to each of the items. So you can see each of the items now includes a new variable. So now we end up with 10 items coming out, and they're just going to be headed down the pipeline. The way N8N works is it basically moves all 10 items together into the next node. That node fires for each item, and then it moves all the items out down the line. Sometimes you get really large data sets and you want to just run, sometimes you just want to run one item at a time. So you can use a loop node for this. So remember, N8N is always sort of running one item at a time in a node, but sometimes for pinging reasons, or there's a lot of reasons why you're going to want to break this up, you can use this loop node. So inside this loop node, you have this batch size. This will tell N8N how many of these items you want to throw through the next piece at a time. So in this case, we set it to 1, and when we fire this, you'll notice only one item comes out on this other side. Again, appended with that some value you want to add. If you change this batch size, you can change the number that come out on this other side. So you can imagine reasons for this. Also, you'll notice that this siphons off the first item coming into this node. So there's reasons you want to do that, and you want to set it up this way where you can just use a loop node instead of looping it around. Because what will happen if you loop it here is it'll cycle through all 10 items now, and what we can actually do is we will add a edit set node here. And this will allow us just to fire the full loop. So we'll go ahead and just fire it, and you'll see it did 6 because we have it set to 2. We'll set it to 1 now and fire the full thing. And it should fire 10 times. So we're going to start from the beginning here. Fire it here, and you'll see through the pipeline, one item gets passed in, 10 items gets passed here, then one at a time they get passed to this loop, and then output is the 10 items that we expect, all one after the other. And so that's it. So these are items. There's ways to merge these items. Like there's we'll look at it later, but there's reasons why you want to put all these items into one little packet. There's a way to split up these items using other nodes, and we'll look at that in the basic node overview. But this is just really basic for like just beginner level. Anytime we're working with these workflows, we're passing these items from one node to another and just manipulating this data. And you can look at it in 3 different views. So we have the table view that will actually put it in sort of a table because everything is sort of a table. And you'll see there's a lot of undefined here because each of these random guys that's coming in, I have it set to create 2 of the same name and company. And the third thing is some random things. You'll notice each of these values is different here. They don't share them. But when it goes out on this other node, you'll notice when we look at the schema here, it puts them all together as one. Like this is sort of what the packet actually looks like. You just didn't pass information for these other ones. So then you can also look at the full schema, and this will give you all anything that was passed in as one packet, and you'll see if there is some stuff like if we just do let's do data.new variable. Just see what that does. We'll execute that. we'll look at that schema, and you'll now see we have a data packet when we do data.newVariable. The new variable thing is added underneath this data packet. So now you can see you can have a little drop down. That's what the schema looks like. And what does that look like in JSON form? You can see it's like a little packet inside of a packet. So we have these two outer brackets. Now, these two right here, sorry. Now we have this little inner thing right here that contains our new variable. That's what it looks like in the schema. So yeah, so that's just an item going through, and you can just now see how you can manipulate that. We'll talk about how to pull these out and what these actually look like, because you can refer to these now. So you can click these in here, refer to them as some value, and now you can actually pass the company name through and say let's not pass anything else through. So now only companies are coming through. So now we have 10 items, all 10 have just a company. You can cycle through items here. If you go back to you can look at all 10 items there. So yeah, that's the basic the items. Until next time, let me know what your N8N questions are in the comments.